Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. This is our series, NAHREP, South Florida Network chapter. If you don't know what NAHREP stands for, it's National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And they do so much good in our community nationally. And we're very blessed to have two members of the South Florida board with me today. You all know Jaelly Prieto. Is that too French?
Prieto.
Uh, and you all know Jay. She's been on the show before. She is the incoming membership director for NAHREP South Florida. And then we also today are featuring Gysselle Escobar-León. I believe she's vice president.
I am the incoming vice president for 2026.
2026. And so today we're going to learn a little bit more about Gysselle and then talk about her why and even Jay's why as to NAHREP and what it means, not just for them personally, but for the community. Welcome, ladies. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm excited for you all to be here, honestly. All right. So Jay, I'm going to just kick it off with you, and then I want to spend a lot of time with Gysselle, obviously.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about you for people who may or may not have seen the first podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jaelly Prieto. I am, like Ted said, the membership director for 2026. I'm also a realtor in South Florida. And recently, as of last week, named Florida ambassador for Epic Realty. So that's something new.
Nice.
Congratulations.
I'm currently working on expanding the Spanish division down here. So, one step at a time, but we'll get there.
Amazing. Awesome. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
A huge deal. All right. Without further ado, Gysselle has not been on the show. So Gysselle, the audience always likes to know a little bit of personal stuff on you. So give us a little background on you.
All right. Well, I come from Colombian descent. Both my parents immigrated here in the 70s. They met in high school in Queens, New York. And yes, so the Hispanic community obviously has been a very important part of my life. I've learned so much of things that I never really thought about before. Such as, unfortunately, my father passed away when I was very small. And so my mom was left to raise 3 children on her own. And so at that time, financial literacy wasn't really discussed for whatever reason. And I found a community, like when I moved to Miami in 97, that I didn't really see all of the things that my eyes have been open to since I started NAHREP and that whole journey on home ownership and generational wealth. My mom was able to, so my father, before he passed, he had some properties and he had put everything in my mom's name and my brother's names, right? So in life, she said, you know what, I'm not going to wait till I pass to give you whatever percentage it is, so I want you to, do something with it now. And that was the first, real money coming in that I decided was okay, I'm going to do something with this. I am going to put this, scrape whatever I have and put this into a down payment so I can buy my first home. And that's what I thought. I thought, I didn't want to see how my mom was struggling, raising 3 kids on her own, making ends meet. I mean, I'm really proud of her. She did whatever she could to provide for us. We didn't lack anything, but there weren't a lot of the extras. And she, was able to give that to me. And that's what I used to buy my first home. I was also recently divorced and I had my 2 kids and I was like, okay, this is for them. So that's how my journey began, really to wake up. I call it the awakening on really talking, having those discussions, making sure you have succession plans in place, making sure that you're, not just paying someone else's mortgage, that you are doing something for yourself, for your family, for generations to come. And real estate is really where that's at. So that's really,
I love that. That's a great story.
Little background.
I think what's interesting, you brought up many points, but the one that struck me is that the minority communities tend to not embrace financial literacy. I had in my, a past life, I was an Allstate agent, and I remember I was in a very highly Hispanic area. I had all my staff spoke Spanish, and then if you tried to talk about anything financial literacy with them, at the time it almost felt like it was insulting, and they didn't want to talk about it because then they might die the next day. It was very apparent that that was not something that they embraced. And so for you to kind of take that on from the mortgage side, from whatever side you're at, the real estate side too, is so very important. And that's what NAHREP does, right, Jay?
Yes, it does. Well, that, and I also, which hopefully that's the idea of this whole podcast, is to showcase each of the directors as well, because I see the point of view that Gysselle has from it. From my point of view, it's how to help the agents, right? I was recently at one of our Gold Coast events, and I was speaking to all these new agents, and they all had the same question for me. So what do I do next? Like, what brokerage do I go to? What? And I was like, we're next. Like, no, forget the brokerage. You come to us first, and we'll guide you. We'll plug you in, right? And it's very important for that, because I don't think that the Hispanic community has enough support in so many areas, and that's what we're all pushing. Each one of the directors has a different perspective and a different goal in pushing this forward. So I love to hear, like, I'm listening to Gysselle and I'm like, that's so true. I was just talking about it with my in-laws, and I was like, let's talk about a trust and a will. And they're like, what, are you trying to kill me off? I'm like, no.
Eso mala suerte. That's bad luck to talk. It seems almost like.
I'm just like, if you pass, that's going to go to probate. There's going to be a problem here, and they're looking at me like, I don't want to talk about this. It makes me nervous. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's so do you feel like, when I had my Allstate office, it was the 90s. So has it changed? Do you feel like NAHREP has, because NAHREP's all about sustainable housing and accessibility for the Hispanic community in the housing world. Do you feel like it's changed from, as the newer generations are coming up, are they embracing that more? Because in the 90s, it was wild. Like we couldn't even ask them or talk about anything that might imply death or anything that might imply get your finances in order.
Right.
Has it changed enough? Are we making progress?
I think so. I think people are less putting money under their mattress and putting it, investing it, at least putting it in a bank. So that's progress. They're putting it in a bank. It's not under the mattress. But what's probably still under their passports, their birth certificates and stuff are probably still under the mattress. But at least their funds are going to, depositories. And yeah, I think this generation has the tools, because the information is out there and people are boots on the ground advocating for, the Hispanic community and sustainable home ownership.
Agreed.
More so.
All right. Gysselle, let me ask you, what are you most excited for 2026 coming in as vice president? And maybe tell them a little bit about what your role entails. But what are you excited for 2026 as far as NAHREP is concerned?
I'm excited to continue to be the voice, to travel, let's say, to DC, to really talk to the people that are making these laws and advocate for laws that will help the Hispanic community. In Miami and in Broward too, I think, more so than I think West Palm, but the culture here is to take care of your parents. And a lot of the homes have additions, whether legal or illegal. They have these, in-laws quarters, and they're doing that. And we want more legislation to be able to have less stringent regulations on that, because it is something. We're not the culture that's just putting our parents in a home, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not our culture. So if we're to take care of them, and with, you know, the current housing crisis and the affordability at the moment, you know, it is a good option to have that extra little bit of help too, because, you know, they are probably collecting Social Security, whatever. They can help with, you know, the household finances to make things work and be able to afford something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing those types of trips, which is what we do as board members. We go to these conferences. We go and we're boots on the ground in DC, you know, again, spreading the word and talking to the people, even like with the Hispanic Wealth Project, which is a whole other entity from NAHREP, just again, all advocating for the laws and legislation that will get us, you know, what we need, what we see that's needed. And like I said, that's just one of the many examples, like the ADU, the additional dwelling units that can be a little bit less stringent, so we can have more of that.
It's interesting. Each county is different. Orlando proper is a big proponent of and pushes ADUs.
Oh,
and
really?
So Orange County is also leading the charge, and then Seminole County. So Central Florida understands it, but of course it takes a while, right? You have to get somebody in office that understands what that actually means and how important it is to not make it so strict and stringent, like you said. And Orlando has embraced that. They have classes on it. They have all sorts of stuff that they do and promote. So it's coming that way.
It's trickling down, if you will.
Trickling, as it always does. Jay, what are you excited about for 2026 with NAHREP?
Giving more to the realtor community. That is my main focus, because we're all, like I said, I think I said in the last podcast, that we're all a little bit of crackheads. You know, we forget to eat sometimes. We're on the go. Everybody's going crazy all the time. It's 9 o'clock and we're cooking dinner while talking to a client, right? We've all been there. And I think that we need to sometimes remember to take care of ourselves a little bit more, you know, and go back to the basics, or at least put some type of system in place. Like, even if it's just a simple breath work, like remember to breathe and drink water. It's not that hard, right? And that's one of the things that we're focusing a lot as a chapter. We're actually looking to do, the next event is a wellness event because of that. We want to bring something that's different to realtors, you know, those things that actually take care of things internally, because we're all successful. Like, everybody's out there, you know, everybody's killing it, but we need to take care of what's inside.
Amen. I love that. All right. As we wrap up, I want to share, after one of our shows, Jay, I got a lot of questions. So I'm obviously poquito, very little, Corona, margarita, dos cervezas, or I can ask where the baño. And so somebody was like, why would you be involved, Ted, as a non-Spanish speaking real estate person? And I shared with them that I was actually one of the founding members of the North Orlando chapter of NAHREP, and how it was presented to me and what I've experienced over the last 6, 7, 8 years, however long that chapter has been in place, is that we're all working toward a common goal. We're all working toward more access for housing. And what NAHREP has done for me is, first of all, accepted me and understand that I don't speak the language. It's not about the language, it's about the mission. And so when you have the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, what I want to encourage someone who may not speak Spanish is, you still should check it out. It's good for your world, your community, your real estate world. If you're going to be less than altruistic, it's going to be good for your business. The relationships that you build at NAHREP are very strong and long-term. And so you're also doing good. If you do good for sustainable and accessible housing in the Hispanic community, you're doing good for the entire community. And so I just want to encourage people to not get caught up on the H in NAHREP, and understand that this is a real estate group, a group of human beings who wants to better and further the Hispanic, but also the community access to affordable housing and housing in general. As we wrap up, I always love, I've already asked Jay this, so I won't ask you again. Gysselle, I love to ask a little bit of a personal question. It's my favorite question to ask. So if you saw the last show, hopefully you know. When I say the word hero to you, who's the first person who comes to mind?
The first person that comes to mind actually is my mom. It's very personal because she was able to take good care of us with whatever she had and was brave enough to handle it on her own. She's not perfect, but she's my hero and inspiration. And inspiration in another way too. If you think about it, my inspiration, she inspired me to be the one who can pass something down to my kids, be the one to, purchase my house and be the one to use my money wisely to be able to get whatever small inheritance that was for the down payment. She's my inspiration. So she is my hero. Actually.
I love that. I love to hear it out loud too. We don't say it enough out loud. We think it, we feel it. We may say we love you, but it's so nice to hear somebody say that out loud. All right. Gysselle, what is the best way that people can find you, find out more about you? If they want to get in touch with you, how can they reach you?
The best way to find me is on Instagram, actually. You can find me at GZE Services. And yeah, I get a lot of DMs, clients. I've actually made a lot of clients and just friends that we meet in person later, and we're the best of friends, having met on Instagram, liking each other's stuff, and forming those relationships. Isn't that kind of weird?
I love it. No, I love
right?
it.
It's strange to think that that's the power of social media, but I've seen it myself, so that's the best way.
I love it. And how about you, Jay?
I'm the same, Instagram. But if you type in, I Googled myself, guys, recently. And if you just type in my name, wow, the amount of stuff that comes out.
Oh my God, I'm scared to do that.
Luckily, the good stuff funnels out any bad stuff that may have come.
Yeah.
That's on the third or fourth page.
Unique name. So it works great for SEO. Like, I figured that out recently.
All right. Well, you guys are a blessing. Thank you so much. If you're interested in membership and you're in South Florida, please reach out to Jay. She is the membership director for 2026. And of course, if you want to learn more about Gysselle, you can find her on Instagram at GZE Services. And of course, her website is scrolling across the bottom there. Thank you both so much. You all get involved in your community. This is such a great way for you to get involved. I'm a huge believer in NAHREP and everything that it does. And these two ladies are a shining example of the good things that NAHREP does. All right. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you soon. Get involved. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.